My dear students, in our previous class we completed a poem on children, and in this class today we will discuss a play, the Sunny Morning. So, a one-act play written by Seraphine and Joaquin. These two, Seraphine and Joaquin. Seraphine, his period 1871 to 1838, and Joaquin, his period 1873 to 1944. These two brothers, Seraphine and Joaquin Alvarez Quintero, were Spanish brothers. Spanish brothers known as the Golden Boys of Madrid Theatre. These two boys or these two, Seraphine and Joaquin, considered as the Golden Boys of Madrid Theatre. Well-known writers were celebrated playwrights of the early 20th century. Together they wrote about 200 plays. In the account, they wrote 200 plays which depict, which explain, express the life, manners and speech of people of Andalusia in southern Spain. That is, they explain or writes what the life, the manners and speech of the people of that Andalusia in southern Spain. Their popular comedies, many of which have been translated into other languages, contributed to the revival of Spanish theatres. The location is Spain, that is Madrid. That is revival of Spanish theatres. The Flowers, The Merry Heart, 100 Years Ago, The Galley Slave, and Apple of His Eye are some of their popular plays. As this play is written by Seraphine and Joaquin Alvarez Quintero, were considered as the Golden Boys of Madrid Theatre. They wrote about 200 plays, and here they contributed to the revival of rebirth of the Spanish theatre. The important or some popular plays of these two celebrated playwrights: The Flowers, The Merry Heart, 100 Years Ago, The Galley Slave, and Apple of His Eye. Here, Sunny Morning. Here in this play we read a blend of romance and comedy. Here in this play we read romance and comedy. That is why there is a blend, there is a mixture of these two. There is romance. The two most important characters of this play, Donna Laura and Don Gonzalo. These two characters, Donna Laura and Don Gonzalo, these two characters. We read the romance of these two characters as well as the comedy between these two. Here, romance means what? Now, when the play starts, they are 70 years old. Her handsome, white-haired old lady Donna Laura, and here Don Gonzalo of about 70 years, impatient fellow. Now, as they have reached 70 years, but they have taken their seats in the park unknowingly, they met each other and they recognized their previous relationship, and they started to recall the love affair between these two, their affair. And further, but in this play, mutually they didn't reveal their identity that she, her in this play, she didn't say that she was his beloved, or Don Gonzalo didn't say that he was her lover. But he came to know that, Don Gonzalo came to know that Donna Laura is, and Donna Laura came to know about Gonzalo, his relationship or her relationship. That is why, as in this play there are 4 characters, Donna Laura, Donna, the Spanish tongue. There are many more Spanish words in this play. Some pronunciation is also in the form of Spanish. Donna means madam. Petra, her maid. Maid in the sense servant. Servant. Don Gonzalo, Don in the sense sir. And her Conito, usually we pronounce it as Genito, but its actual pronunciation in Spanish tongue is Conito. Okay, Conito, his servant. It means these 4 characters. And before going to read this topic, 2 lines are the pre-reading activity. We will read these 2 pre-reading activity. How does it feel to meet a friend after a long time? So, think that when you reach 50 years or 60 years or 40 years, after a long time, you will meet your good friend or your high school friend or your primary schoolmate. Then how do you express? Sometimes unable to identify. And when we introduce ourselves, then we start talking about school days, friends, incidents which made us to laugh or to cry. So all these things we share. So meeting someone after some years later. So astonishment, surprise, and we bring back those days once again. And second pre-reading activity is there, that is, why do some friendships come to an end? Why do some relations come to an end? Relations or friendships come to an end because of circumstances, because of our own actions and thoughts. Many more reasons are there. That is why it is said that every relationship has got its own expiry date. But here we should think it on. Here he is speaking about taking the context of the relationship between Donna Laura and Don Gonzalo. These 2 are old people, but in their youthhood phase, they were lovers. They were in love. But now they have seated on the bench in that garden, talking about someone, actually talking about themselves, taking the reference of someone. So it is very beautiful play. That is why in this play we read the romance. Romance of what? Donna Laura and Don Gonzalo. And the comedy here. That is why it is called a blend, the mixture of these 2. The most important characters, Donna Laura, Don Gonzalo, Petra, the servant of Donna Laura, Conito, the servant of Don Gonzalo. Okay, so scene starts. A sunny morning in a retired corner of a park in Madrid. Where? The location in Madrid, the capital city of Spain. So, capital city of Spain, Madrid. Season, autumn. A bench at right. Donna Laura explains, giving explanation about the appearance of Donna Laura even at the age of 70. Donna Laura, a handsome, white-haired old lady of about 70. Here, a handsome. Rarely we use this word while explaining women We never say handsome, but here we can say to explain regarding that attractive appearance, attention getting appearance. Her appearance which receives attention of others. So that is why handsome. A bench at right. There are benches in that garden. Sunny morning. What is the time? Sunny morning. It is very early morning. Sunny morning. Where in the park in Madrid, in that city, Madrid. Season, autumn season. So Donna Laura, explanation about her appearance. Handsome, white haired, her became white. Old lady about 70. What is the age of Donna Laura? 70 years old. Refined in appearance. Refined in appearance. Refined in appearance means cultured, respected, dignified. Okay, having the sense of patience and calmness on her face. So it is refined in her appearance, very controlled, matured. You may call all these refined in appearance. Her bright eyes, though at the age of 70, here these two, the golden boys of this Madrid theatre, are writing. And at the age of 70, bright eyes and entire manner giving an evidence that despite, even though her age, her mental faculties are unimpaired. Mental faculties are unimpaired. Her unimpaired in the sense not damaged. Not damaged. Working as usual, unimpaired. So she enters leaning upon, putting her hand on, leaning upon whom? On the arm of her maid Petra, her maid servant Petra. In her free hand, one hand, she kept her one hand on whom? On that Petra, another one, it was free hand. So in her free hand, which was empty free hand, she carries a parasol. Parasol means a colorful umbrella. It is colorful umbrella. Her colorful umbrella here. She brings colorful umbrella. And and she brings colorful umbrella there, carries parasol which serves also as cane, walking stick. Cane means here stick, walking stick. Usually we have seen our grandparents used to take such type of umbrellas. Okay. They used to keep those umbrellas here, and while walking, they used those umbrellas as walking sticks. Okay, we have seen. So, explanation of her Donna Laura at her sunny morning in a retired corner of park in Madrid, autumn season, bench at right, Donna Laura, a handsome white-haired old lady of about 70, refined in appearance, her bright eyes and entire manner giving evidence that though her age, her mental faculties, ears, eyes, means organs, mental faculties are unimpaired, not damaged. Still they are working as usual. Her keeping her hand on her servant, and she enters into the park. In her free hand, she carried a parasol, a colorful umbrella, which serves also as a cane, as a walking stick. Here the play starts here. Now, then Donna Laura, then the discussion starts between Donna Laura and Petra, these two. Here, Donna Laura, I am so glad to be here. I feared my seat would be occupied. What a beautiful morning. Her habitual action, work, that usually she goes to the park to enjoy the sunny morning. In those countries, people, they enjoy mornings. Donna Laura, I'm so glad, I'm so very happy because I have got a seat. First I have got a bench for me. And what was her fear? Her seat would be occupied by someone. Someone has occupied, she thought, her seat. But what a beautiful morning, she says. What is very beautiful morning to enjoy. Donna Laura, she says, sun is hot. She says, sun is hot. Suddenly, Donna Laura hurls her statement to whom? To her servant. Yes, of course, sun is hot. For whom? For you, not for me. Because you are only 20, but I am 70. I am 70 years old. She says, Petra, that you are only 20 years old. And she sits on the bench. Telling these words to whom? To Petra. She sat on the bench. Oh, I feel more tired today than usual. She says, I am a bit tired more today. Okay, usual. Noticing Petra, she looked at Petra, who seems impatient. And Petra was searching about someone. She was impatient. She was not happy. Her appearance was not happy. So, go, she says suddenly to whom? To Petra. Go if you wish to chat with your guard. Your guard. Who said? Laura said to Petra, go if you wish to chat with if you wish to speak with your guard. She said, go, if you want to talk with that guard, go and talk with him. Chat means talk with guard. Petra, he is not mine, Senora. He is not mine, Senora. Madam, Senora means, once again it is Madam. Senora, he belongs to the park. That guard, he doesn't belong to me. But he belongs to the park. Why are you telling me that guard belongs to me? So, Laura suddenly sighs. That is why it's called blend of romance and comedy. He is not mine, Senora. He belongs to the park. Laura, he belongs more to you than he does to the park. Go, find him, but remain within calling distance. He belongs more to you than he does to the park. Here, he does to the park means less he works for the park, but more works for you only. He cares more you than this park. That is why he belongs more to you than he does to the park. But go and chat with him, but be in calling distance. If she calls, should hear and she must come back. Okay, in calling distance. Okay, her, go find him, but remain within calling distance. Petra, I see him over there waiting for me. Her, she too said, yes, that God is waiting for me there. He is waiting for me. I have to go now. And Donna Laura, do not remain more than, what is the time duration given to Petra? Do not remain more than 10 minutes over there. Should not be there more than 10 minutes. Petra very well accepted the suggestion which was given by that Donna Laura. Her very well, Senora walks toward right. She said, accepted. Yes, I'll come back within 10 minutes and I will be there in a calling distance. Donna Laura, wait a moment. Paused and said something. Petra, what does the Senora wish? What does the Senora wish? What does the Madam and Madam wish? Or what here she says, what does the Senora wish means? What do you want? Donna Laura, give me the breadcrumbs. Small pieces of bread. Breadcrumbs means small pieces of breadcrumbs. Petra, I don't know what is the matter with me. Oh, Madam was asking breadcrumbs and she thought something matter with her. Donna Laura smiling. Her. That is why we consider Donna Laura's appearance very pleasant, matured. Okay, that is handsome appearance. Smiling, I do. Yes, Your head is where? Your heart is with that God. Your head is not here. Your head and heart both are not here. They are away from this place. Your head and heart both are with whom? With that God. Go. She said. Petra, here, Senora. It means he handed over that breadcrumbs. Senora, she hands Donna Laura a small bag, that bag, which contains breadcrumbs. Exit Petra by right. Okay. And then further explains adios. Then Donna Laura goes away. Then starts monologue. Here Donna Laura speaks herself. Here she speaks herself. Sometimes we speak to animals or birds. They may listen, they may not, but we go on speaking. The same thing here, Donna Laura, it is her routine. Daily going to park and bringing some breadcrumbs, giving those breadcrumbs to whom? To birds. And the birds were enjoyed. The given breadcrumbs by whom? By this Donna Laura. And she says adios. Adios in the sense goodbye. She says goodbye to whom? Goodbye to whom? To Petra. Glances toward trees at right. Here they come. Here they come. They know just when to expect me. She rises, walks toward right and throws 3 handfuls of breadcrumbs. These are for the suppressed. These are for the gluttons. And these are for little ones which are most persistent. Laughs. She returns to her seat and watches with a pleased expression the pigeons feeding. There, that big one is always first. I know him by his big head. Now one, now another, now two, now three. That little fellow is least timid. I believe he would eat from my hand. That one takes his piece and flies up to that branch alone. He is a philosopher, but where do they all come from? It seems as if the news had spread. Don't quarrel. There is enough for all. I'll bring more tomorrow. See, she speaks. She goes on telling these to whom? To those birds. Her glances means looks towards. She looks toward trees at right. Looks. Here they come means they means here who? Birds. The birds come. They know when to come, when to expect me, when to get their food. Expect me here. She rises and walks toward right, and she stood up and moved and throws 3 handfuls of breadcrumbs. 3 handfuls of breadcrumbs. First handful was for the sprayest. For the sprayest here. Sprayest means sprayest birds it is. For the sprayest pigeons. Talking about pigeons. Sprayest. Superlative form. SP or Y. Spray in the sense very active. Very active. Lively. Energetic. Sprayest. These are very active birds. Lively birds. She gives 1 handful of breadcrumbs to those. Next, these are for the gluttons. These are for the gluttons. Glutton in the sense one who eat excessively. It is excessive. The one who eats in the excessive quantity, or a greedy eater, or one who eats again and again, again and again, again and again. Gluttons. We call it as gluttons. Eager to eat. Eager to eat. In excessive quantity is called gluttons. Some birds, second handful of breadcrumbs are given to whom? Gluttons. And third, these are for little ones. Third handful of breadcrumbs was given to whom? To the little ones, small birds, which are most persistent. Then laughs. She laughs. First handful of breadcrumbs was given to whom? To these spressed. Next one, gluttons. Third one, little fellows, little ones. Laughs, she returns to her seat, and she came back and sat on her bench and watches with pleased expression. See here, pleased sense of happiness on her face, pleased expression, because all the pigeons or birds are enjoying the breadcrumbs, and she gets enjoyment from that scene. The pigeons feeding, all these pigeons are enjoying their food. There, that big one is always first. She says that big one is always first, because I know him by his big head. That bird, she speaks about birds here. That big bird with big head, he comes always first. For what? For this bird comes. Now one, now another, now two, now three. Many birds came and started to enjoy their food. And that little fellow is the least timid. That little fellow is least timid, with shy nature. He doesn't come in group. He comes alone with shy nature. Group, timid. I believe he would eat from my hand. That little fellow, that little bird comes and gets his food from her hand. So, would eat from my hand. That one takes his piece and flies up to her. The branch. He is alone. He stands aloof, maintains distance. That is why he is a philosopher. Philosophers won't mingle. But actually, where do they all come from? Who said that they would get their food over here? It seems as if there is a news, news has spread. What is that? Don't quarrel, she said to all those pigeons. Don't quarrel among yourselves, because there is enough for all. I have brought enough food for you, enough crumbs for you, and tomorrow once again I will bring more. Don't quarrel, she said. Then here enter Don Gonzalo. There is the entry of Don Gonzalo. Enter Don Gonzalo and Juanito from left. Don Gonzalo is an old gentleman of 70, gouty, means joint pain, inflammation, joint pain. He cannot walk. Okay. When he walks, he jumps, gouty and impatient. He leans upon the arms, upon Juanito's arm, and drags his feet somewhat. He walks, drags, unable to walk. That is why he is dragging his feet. Here, see the appearance of Gonzalo, appearance of this Laura. Don Gonzalo's appearance, an old gentleman of 70, gouty, means with joint pain. He is suffering from joint pain, inflammation, and he is not having patience, and angry appearance, disturbed face, and he puts his hand on his servant Juanito and drags his feet. He takes his feet somewhat as he walks, somewhat as he moves. Okay. Then here compare the appearance of these two. See appearance of this one. Here Donna Laura, a handsome white-haired old lady of about 70, refined in appearance, her bright eyes, entire manner giving evidence that despite her age, her mental faculties are unimpaired. So here about this Don Gonzalo. From left, Don Gonzalo is an old gentleman of 70, gouty and impatient. He leans upon Juanito's arm and drags his feet somewhat as he moves. Don Gonzalo, idling their time away. They should be saying mass. Unnecessarily, these people are wasting their time sitting in this park, on these benches, idling, waste of time. Okay, idling their time away, says, by seeing the people who are there in the park. Juanito, you can sit here, Senor, sir, you can sit here. There is only a lady. There is only a lady. There is only a lady means only one lady is seated on the bench, that is Donna Laura. You can sit on this bench because no bench is empty in this park. On this bench only a lady is seated, that is why you can share that bench. By hearing these words, because her mental faculties are unimpaired, Donna Laura turns her head and listens to whom? To the words of Canito. Don Gonzalo, I want Canito. I want bench to myself. No, I don't want to share bench with anybody else. I want a bench, separate bench for myself. Canito, but there is none. No bench is empty over here. Gonzalo, that one over there is mine. That one, he showed a bench. It is mine. Canito, there are 3 priests sitting there on that bench. Already on that bench, 3 priests have seated and speaking. Don Gonzalo wrote them out, send them out, forcefully here, send them out. Have they gone? Canito, no, indeed, really, actually, really, they are talking, mutually they are talking. Still they are in the park, seated on the bench. Then Don Gonzalo, just as if they were glued to the seat, no hope of their leaving. Come this way, Canito, they walked toward the bird's right. They were glued to the seat. They are just like all these people or these priests. They are talking in that garden, seated on the bench, just like glued, attached. Here, just as if they were attached to the seat, no hope of their leaving. They may not leave this place. Come this way, called him, and both walked towards the bird's right. Birds were eating breadcrumbs, and Laura was enjoying the scene, and these 2 impatient, unhappy Don Gonzalo along with his servant Canito moved very close to the birds. Laura indignantly, look out, her indignantly, very anger and annoyance, sense of rejection, angry. Indignantly, look outside. Then further, the discussion takes between Laura and this Donna Laura and Don Gonzalo. Okay, my dear students, we'll read the next part of this play in our next class. Thank you. Have a good day.